to the parking lot. I don't think there's ever been a time that there hasn't been a man. I know Sig used to talk about that but I don't think there's ever been a time that there hasn't been a man.
Okay, ready? There's a discussion outside, and I said, I was going to ask you. I always call you Naomi. Marcia says she always calls you Naomi. And I said...
My name is Naomi.
Okay.
There are some people, and
Did I call you Naomi?
there are some people that I can say right to them, my name is Naomi, and they'll say, hi, Naomi. I don't know what they're hearing.
Isn't it funny? Because it's N-A, but I think Marcia said in high school when she grew up, it was always Naomi.
No, it was always Naomi. People just didn't correct them. And so, so like there was one time on a cruise, and I'm in Bingo, and they were like, what's your name? And I was like, Nay. They were like, what? I'm like, my name's Naomi. They're like, oh, Naomi. I'm like, yeah, see, that's just why I say my name is Nay. Because if you hear Nay enough, when you hear my full name, you will say Naomi, because you're used to saying
so
Nay.
you're Nay and I'm Ray.
Oh, but yeah, it's not Rihanna.
Might need to change your name.
It's Naomi, yes.
You be Day.
And then
Jay.
Brad
Jay here.
Brad used to, he wouldn't say Naomi, but I think he was doing it with a soft A, like Naomi. And I'm like, okay, I'll accept a soft A. I'll accept Naomi. I would not accept Naomi.
Isn't it funny? My niece is Brianna. My sister named her Brianna because she thought everybody would call her Brianna. And everyone calls her Brianna. And she's always like, my name is Brianna.
Well, that one, yeah. But yeah, people, and then Wendy, she was like, yeah, you should have told us. You had to correct people all the time because Naomi has the same thing. Naomi Jabinsky. She was like, you should have told us that she spent her life correcting people saying her name wrong.
Well, you know what I did? People call me Rana and Rana and Rana because I was R-A-N-A. Like Dana, Rana.
Oh.
So I say that's my grandfather Ray, and I got so tired of it when I was tiny
that you added the one.
Turn the camera off.
Interesting.
Well, I'm going to take it off. That doesn't mean it's on. That means that it's charged.
I told Jacob how we are in the second hand. Mike. Is he ready to follow?
I know.
Okay, thank you, Naomi.
Hulhu naranana naranana ladonai naria naria letsori chenu negama fana betoda bizmirut narialo. Oh, it's live. Welcome everybody, Shabbat Shalom. We will be beginning in about 7 minutes.
Huh?
do you need a printout of the,
No, I have it on this, I have it on my tablet.
Recording in progress.
Change the camera. Oh, go to OBS. Well, I know why. Go to OBS. Virtual start virtual camera. Now it should be. Yeah, starting. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, we will be beginning in 5 minutes. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome.
Don't worry, I'm gonna keep us on time tonight. I mean, not that you won't, but I'm saying, is that not gonna be? I know how you roll. There ain't gonna be none of this. Slow down, Mike. Slow down. No, we're gonna play these songs the way they were meant to be played. All right, so I did turn on the lectern mic for you. So tonight you don't have to use. I'll put this underneath.
Do not have to worry about that.
Need to use the restroom real quick. Grab some water.
You have your copy of this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I am good to go.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough. Is there a large print Mishkan Tefillah?
A large print Mishkan Tefillah. I mean, the answer is yes. Do I know where it is?
Okay.
Erwin, do you know where it is? A large print Mishkan Tefillah? Right back here as well.
2-minute warning, everybody. I start at 7.
so where is the doll? Have you found her?
I think maybe she was in the supply room.
Oh, okay.
Is that where Bella is?
Oh, no, I put her in the preschool.
Oh, because we could hear her.
Where she was.
No, I just moved her, so you probably could hear her before. She
Oh,
was,
okay.
she was in the.
I just wanted to let you know that I had not said anything to Mike about unabbreviated Torah service.
Okay.
So he's probably going to do all the blessings.
Oh, during the tour service. Oh, yeah.
During the Torah service. But
That
that's
should be
fine.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, just wanted to give you a heads up.
Yeah, there's no way some company or food store, something didn't donate a bunch of stuff.
I've actually donated things from my coworkers. There's like
There's like a whole little food section.
hours. He does the he
Okay.
wants
Oh,
to
thank you.
thank you. Yeah, he wants to share it now and in Toronto, of course.
I think that's so cool.
We were selling stuff to the people that were coming to help her buy stuff. People bought a binder.
I mean, it was around at some point.
Okay, because these are just reading glasses, so I need it to do this, but then when I look out, it's all like everybody's blurry out there. And sort of have to keep taking them off. But
Well, we can all be blurry for you.
yeah.
It's okay.
And then when I'm giving the drosh, that'll be odd too, but I'll live. Yeah, it'll be okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Okay, cool. And the other one is hidden in the pantry.
Do we have the choir tonight, Mike? No? Okay.
I guess I'm it.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, we're going to get started. Hello to everyone on Zoom and YouTube. For those who don't know me, I'm Naomi Walton. I will be leading services tonight. And we're going to start on page 130 with Lechu Naranana.
Lechu, lechu, naranena, naranena, ladonai naria, naria, letzori shenu. Lechu, lechu, naranena, naranena, ladonai naria, naria, letzori shenu. Nekamafana, vitoda, bizmerot naria lo. Nechama fana betoda bizmerot naria lo. Nechama fana betoda bizmerot naria lo. Nechama fana betoda bizmerot naria lo. Lechu, lechu, naranena, naranena, ladonai naria, naria, letzori shenu. Lechu, lechu, naranena, naranena, ladonai naria, naria, letzori shenu. Nechama fana, vitoda, bizorot naria lo. Nechama fana vetoda bezerot 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 naria lo.
Thank you. I now invite the Butchness and Richardson families up to light the Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. Please join me for a responsive reading on page 127 at the bottom. We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat, which unites us in faith and hope. For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessing, O God. Okay. Now we're going to sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9 of Lecha Dodi. And as always, we will rise before the last verse. On page 138, if you want to follow along.
likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla la 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 lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Shemor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shem v'tiferet v'liti la la la. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekor habaracha. Merosh mekedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machashavat chila la la. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Hitorari, hitorari. Kiva horech kumiri. Iri, shirdaveri. Kavod Adonai ala yichni la la la. Lecha lecha la. Likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla.
Please rise and face the entrance to greet the Shabbat bride.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala. Gam b'simcha uv'zola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Chala la 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 chala chadodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla la 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 lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla. Lecha lecha dodi likra likra kala. B'nei b'nei Shabbat nechabla.
If you wish, you can turn to greet your neighbors while I say, hi, Kalina from California. Shabbat Shalom.
Sarah type way. Sarah. She's probably going to kill me for what I said. Good. The joke about more for saying, maybe throw him over your way. I'm sure he told me that. He's being serious. I was like, yeah, he probably didn't like me, so I guess I'll say.
Okay, if everybody can have a seat, please. There'll be time for socializing at Oneg. This was just a quick hello. Thank you. The Hatzi Kaddish is found on page 144. Yikada v'yikada shemei rabba.
Amen.
V'yalma divra kirute v'yamlik malkute.
V'chaye chol yom echon u'chaye kol beit Yisrael. Bagala bagala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach alam ulol me'al maya Yitbarach.
Yitbarak, v'yishtabak, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yithaleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudesha,
Brechu.
le'ela min kol berkata v'shirata.
Tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran balma v'imru amen.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu on page 146.
את אדוני המבורך. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Thank you. You can choose to sit, but you'll have to get back up in a minute, so it's up to you. From on the top of page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Please rise for the Shema. Oh, everybody stayed, rise. Good job. On page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto L'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malkuto L'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 162 for Yismachu. Take it away, Mike.
ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei honeg Shabbat. Ha'am Mekadashei, Mekadshei Shavi Shabbat. Kulam yisba'u, v'yitamgu metuvacha Shabbat. Yismachu v'malchutcha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei honeg Shabbat. Yismachu v'malchutcha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei honeg Shabbat. V'hashvihi ratzida bo v'kidisho chemdat. Yamimoto karata zecher lemaseh moreshit. Yismachu v'malchutcha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei honeg Shabbat. Yismachu v'malchutcha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat. V'korei honeg Shabbat. You know, Naomi, that actually, every time we do Yismachu, I always somehow think, you know, if I were a rich man. And it actually, I don't know if anybody knows this, I can never pronounce his last name. His first name is Harold. He was the lyricist for the Fiddler on the Roof. He passed away today at the age of 99.
Oh.
So it kind of, in the middle of that, I'm kind of, oh my gosh. So.
Please rise for the Amidah, beginning on page 164.
Adonai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. You want me to? Yeah. Okay. Page 166. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imaot, u'mevii gulo v'bnei v'neihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחייל הכל אתה רב והושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, תומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
Please reflect silently or read the pages as you wish through page 178. And have a seat to signify when you are done. Yehu Liratzon can be found on page 180.
Yehu Liratzon Imre Fi Vehigon Libi Lefanecha Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Vigo Ali, Vigo Ali, Yuliratzon. Imre Fi Vehigon Libi Lefanecha Adonai Suri Adonai Suri Vigo Ali, Vigo Ali.
Will those who are leading the Torah service please step forward, and we will begin the Torah service on page 364.
Oh, 362 is an old cue sheet. Ein kamocha Elohim Adonai v'ein kamasecha malchutcha malchut kol amim umemshaltecha v'dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch Lo'olam va'ed Adonai hoz la'amo yitein Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Avrachamim hetiva virtzoncha et Zion Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך רם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ולדבר אדוני מירושלים. I was waiting for you to. Baruch Shenatan Shenatan Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Lamo Yisrael B'Hikdushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Mo, Gadlu Adonai iti, U'romama Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai Hagedula Hagevrua V'Hatiferet V'Hanezach V'Hahod Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz Lecha Adonai HaMamlacha ואני נעשה לכל ראש.
Should be right there, right?
Yes, it should be.
Yeah, that's it.
There's a paperclip.
You may be seated.
And Korach is found on page 639, if you're following along.
Korach. Korach. Yeah. Yeah.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach. Baruch Adonai HaMbarach Le'olam V'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam. Asher Baruch Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Vayikach Korach ben Yitzhar ben Kohot ben Levi v'Datan v'Aviram b'nei Eliav v'Yon ben Pelet b'nei Ruvain vayokumu lifnei Moshe v'anashim b'nei Yisrael chamishim u'motayim nisiyei eda krimoed anshe shem vayikahalu el Moshe v'al Aharon Vayomu aleihem Rav lochem ki kol ha'eda kulam kedoshim ubetocham Adonai umadua yisnasu al kahal Adonai Vayishma Moshe vayipol al ponav vayidaber el Korach ve'el kol hadato lemor boker vayida Adonai es asher lo v'es hakodosh v'hakrive lov v'es asher yivchar bo yakrive lov zo sosu k'chulochem machtos korach v'chol adoto usnu bahen esh v'shimu Elohein ketores v'fnei Adonai machor v'hoya ish asher yivcha Adonai hu hakodosh Rab lochem b'nei Levi vayomer Moshe el Korach shemuna b'nei Levi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam natah b'sachenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yashar Korach.
A Torah pun.
There it is.
I'll tell your wife, Rapunzel. Just keeps getting better.
Every day.
And now on page
71.
370. You may be correct. 371. In the middle, we pray now for those who are in need of healing, both mentally, physically, spiritually, here and around the world. Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
We are thinking of the following people from our congregation and family: Adele Friedman, Annette Durlam, Barbara Chansey, Kamaya Beal, Fred Belkin, Harriet Coleman, Harvey Malin, Kathy Lazarski, Marcy Sherloff, Mike Gordon, Natalie Latofsky, Philip Chansey, Ray Lee, and anybody that you may wish to add as I point toward you.
Mi sheberach imotenu bekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, renewal of body, renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We do now. Here, let's remove this.
Are we rising? Are we rising? Yeah, please rise.
Asher Sam Moshe, Litnei Bnei Yisrael, Api Adonai, Yad Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah,
Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe.
Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Hey. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, Torah, David, Malach Yisrael, Chai chai v'kayam, David melech Yisrael, chai chai v'kayam, David Yisrael, chai chai v'kayam.
You may be seated. So I'm going to begin by admitting that this portion was quite rough for me to write a drosh on. I've been thinking about it for the past 2 months, and I was going down one path, and then I realized that I am not enough of a biblical scholar to go down that path. So what I might do is volunteer to lead services for this same portion next year to give the drosh that I was going to, because I have a lot of things to say. In the meantime, I did find a story or a drosh by Rachel Farbiars, which I thought was pretty interesting and made me think about things a little differently. It's called Between the Living and the Dead. Parshat Korach tells of the mayhem and violence that often accompany political strife. After Korach and the Levite challenged Moses' leadership and Aaron's priestly authority, a test was devised. God's choice for priestly service would become known after Korach and Aaron each offered sacrificial incense. The divine response was unmistakable. The earth opened her mouth and swallowed Korach alive and his household. The rebels' followers, in turn, were immolated in a fire sent forth from God. After witnessing these florid retributions, the Israelites gathered against Moses and Aaron, menacing them with the eerily prescient accusation that they had, quote, brought death upon God's people. Outraged at the nation's defiance, God charged Moses and Aaron, "Remove yourselves from this community, that I may annihilate them in an instant." A plague soon stalked the camp, quickly consuming tens, then hundreds, then thousands. But neither Moses nor Aaron heeded God's command to separate from the people. Instead, in an audacious mirroring of the Israelites' defiance, Moses commanded Aaron to disobey God, prepare the sacrificial incense, and take it quickly to the community to make expiation for them. These were tense, frightening moments for the brothers, and terror strains through Moses' frantic aside to Aaron. For wrath has gone forth from the Lord, the plague has begun. The constancy of Moses' and Aaron's devotion to this nation, which God has repeatedly threatened to destroy, makes it somewhat difficult to recognize the remarkable nature of their actions. Moses and Aaron did not try to save themselves, as God had commanded, but rather assumed the defense of a nation that had rejected them. What is more, the curative is fraught with danger. Aaron must prepare the mercurial incense, whose offering had only just brought about Korach's demise and, more poignantly, the earlier deaths of Aaron's sons Nadav and Abihu. But Aaron did not flinch. Instead, he ran to the midst of the congregation where the plague had begun. Offering incense for the people's expiation, Aaron stood between the dead and the living until the plague was checked. The outsized muscularity of body and spirit that this effort demanded is reflected in a midrash that tells of Aaron's restraining the angel of death against his will. Whew. So that was kind of like a summary. We need more Aarons. The kind of devotion and mettle required to stand between the dead and the living remains extraordinary and rare. In those regions facing today's most serious health challenges, doctors are shockingly scarce. The World Health Organization estimated in 2006 that 1 in 4 African-trained doctors leaves the continent for work in wealthier regions, with the workforce shortage believed to only have worsened since then. In Sierra Leone, a country of over 5 million people, there are only 75 state medical doctors and 25 medical specialists. and in Liberia, population 3.5 million, there are a total of 122 doctors. There are, however, individuals who choose to stay and serve. People, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to read all that. But to dig out from the crisis, the world cannot depend on the mettle and devotion of extraordinary people who make extraordinary efforts. The Parsha informs us that Aaron stood between the living and the dead. He returned to Moses, who waited by the tabernacle's entrance. One can imagine Aaron wending his way through 14,700 dead and dying to collapse in his brother's arms, fatigued from effort and unburdening himself of horror. Those supportive, powerful arms are needed today, too. We need robust services to assist doctors who serve these communities, more medical schools to incubate and support local talent, and policies that both incentivize medical workers to serve these regions and staunch the brain drain from them. Shabbat Shalom. Okay. The Elenu can be found on page 586.
Please rise.
Please rise.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latei gedula leotzer breshit, shehu note shamayim ve'aser haaretz, u'Moshe vikaro bashamayim mima'al, u'shchinot uzo begovhei meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu korim uv'ishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'chai Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushmo echad.
You may be seated. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. This week, we are remembering the recently passed Elliot Larkin and David Snyder. We are also observing the following yurtsites: Betty Stout, Esther Ruth Pantzer, Harriet Bernice Smith, Harry Gordon, Jack Linick, Jamie A. Bress, Jean Buchalter, Lillian H. Simons, Lily Bunkin, Lolly Stoker, Louis Gross, Mark Jeffrey Tannenbaum, Miriam Levy, Morris Isaac Gross, and Thomas Lazinski. If you are in mourning or observing yurtsite, please rise. And if it is your custom to rise during the morning's Kaddish, I invite you to do so also. The mourner's Kaddish is found on page 598. Yikadal v'yikada shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divra kirute v'yamlik malkute. V'chayakon u'yomekon u'kaye dekol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'vizman kari v'yemru amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabbah mavarach
olam
omei
omaya.
omaya. Yit barak v'yishtabak v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. Viet Hadar, Viet Hale, Viet Halal, Shemay de Kudasha,
Brechu.
Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran b'yalma v'yimru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen.
Amen.
Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru, Amen. May their memories be for a blessing. You may be seated. Are there announcements?
Shabbat Shalom. I'm
Shabbat
speaking
Shalom.
on behalf of Sarah O'Donnell at the religious school, and I wanted to thank everyone who has cleaned their house and brought us all these wonderful things for our very first rummage sale for the religious school. We have lots of help for tomorrow. We could use a few more helping hands on Sunday. If anyone is rained out of their event or a little bored, come on up and join the wildness of selling on the rummage sale items. Again, thanks all of you for your help. And if you have some extra baked goods you'd like to sell, bring them along too. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. So we are going to conclude with Adon Olam. And as most of you saw when we came in, the social hall is set up for the rummage sale. So Oneg will be in the lobby afterwards.
All right.
And I don't know what page Adon Olam is
It is
on.
on
but-
page 625.
Okay.
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Yeit Nasa, V'heb Sachol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'acharei Kichlut HaKol, Levado Yimloch Lora Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hover, V'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam. Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, V'heb Sachol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Echad, V'ein Sheni, Laham Shelo Lahachbera Adon Olam, V'li Reshit, V'li Tachlit, V'lo Ha'oz V'hamizra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, V'heb Sachol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'hu Eli, V'chai Goali, V'tzorchev li V'yet Rasal Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, Umanos li, Manat Kosi Bayom Mekra Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, V'heb Sachol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yado Al Ki Ruchi, V'yet Tishan V'a'ira Adon Olam, V'ruchi Gaviyati, Adan Ali V'lo Era Adon Olam, Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Liet Nasa, V'heb Sachol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Everybody on Zoom and YouTube, Shabbat Shalom. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And next week, weather permitting, we have an outdoor service for those who enjoy that. Okay, and Melissa and Linda will be leading the outdoor service next week for those who want to bring their pets and do that enjoyment.
Our paws and claws Shabbat.
Bye, Lena.